Hi, I'm Lucy Swain.
And I'm Jessie Swain.
And this is our presentation on ocean plastics. So a few years ago, we went on a 7-month sailing trip. And on that trip, we did citizen science studying ocean plastics. Since we've come back, we've been raising awareness about this problem and trying to get people to see this problem so they can do something about it.
What are ocean plastics? This is actually a question that we got a lot. So ocean plastics are any plastic trash that's found its way into the ocean. About 85% of these plastics that make their way to our beaches are microplastics, which are any type of plastic fragment that is less than 5 millimeters in length. These plastics cause many problems in marine environments and shorelines.
So most of the plastic we found was broken into small pieces. So right here on the right, you can see that's the general kind of plastic that we saw. And then on the top right is just a clump of seaweed that we found on the beach. And as you can see, there's a bunch of plastic in it. And this was really normal for beaches that we saw, especially in the Bahamas. And then underneath it is an osprey nest that we found. That was really an interesting find because it had plastic fishing line all woven into it.
Why are ocean plastics bad? Ocean plastics are harmful to our environment in so many ways. One big thing that ocean plastics do is they harm marine life by entangling them, poisoning them, and being mistaken for food. Most all plastics have dangerous chemicals in them that will slowly leach out while the plastics are floating around in the water or inside the stomachs of animals. This is very, very harmful. Also, when animals ingest plastics, they fill up the stomachs of the animals and make them feel full, but the animals are actually really slowly starving because they don't have any nutrients coming from the plastics and they can't pass them through the system.
So where do ocean plastics come from? There is no real specific answer for where plastics come from. They come from all over the world. Many people like to blame other countries like China for plastic pollution, but actually a majority of the plastic that they say comes from China was shipped there by the US because we do not have the ability to process the amount of plastic that we use. So if we really do want to reduce the amount of plastic pollution in our environment, we all have to do our part to use less plastic, and we can't blame other people for it.
Where do plastics end up? When plastics end up in our oceans, it could really, really go anywhere. So 300 million tons of plastic are produced each year, and currents carry plastic all around the globe. Offshore, many of these plastics come together where all the currents of that area meet in places called gyres. And so you may have learned about these in school, but there are 5 major gyres: the North and South Pacific subtropical gyres, the North and South Atlantic subtropical gyres, and the Indian subtropical gyre.
So these are some ways that you can help. So the first way that you can help is reducing your use of single-use plastics. So the best way to reduce the number of plastics in our oceans is to reduce the amount of single-use plastic, which is plastics that you use once and then throw out. So that's stuff like plastic water bottles, plastic wrap, little plastic bags, things like that. And as of 2017, only 8.4% of single-use plastic was actually recycled. There are many alternatives out there to use instead of plastic, such as beeswax instead of plastic wrap, reusable cups and water bottles, bamboo toothbrushes, and reusable containers. And there are a bunch more alternatives out there too, such as cloth bags instead of plastic bags, metal straws. There's so many different things that you can use.
So this is just a little infographic about different ways that you can use less plastic in your everyday life.
And we got this from 5 gyres.
So beach cleanups are another really great way to help your local beaches and shoreline habitats stay safe from ocean plastics. And even though this obviously won't stop plastics from ending up in the ocean, it's really good for the environment, and it's a really nice thing to do for your community. And so really you just have to keep in mind that every little bit helps. And so this is a video of our family on Long Island in the Bahamas, and we just did a quick 30-minute beach cleanup, and it actually impacted the area so much.
Yeah, so we just set a 30-minute timer and saw us tried to pick up as much plastic as we could in that 30 minutes. And we really focused on the bigger stuff for this, because if we had tried to pick up every little piece of plastic, we wouldn't have been able to get as much plastic out of there, and it would have taken us a much longer amount of time. But later that day, we did a beach sample, and the amount of plastic that we found there was way more than any other place that we found it.
Citizen science. So this is another way that you can help. And this is by far the most fun, in my opinion. So there are a lot of different programs that you can find online that need citizen scientists. So just kids or adults, anybody that wants to help. And you can collect data from anywhere in the world. And this can be a fun thing for you or your family to do together, or even with your classmates or with your class. And the program we did was a worldwide plastics estimate, and they actually finished the study, but it was really fun.
Yeah, and so for the program that we did, we collected the plastics in 2 different ways. So on the left is a photo of our manta trawl. And so the manta trawl isn't something that everyone could do because it requires a boat and a lot of equipment to be able to tow it alongside the boat. And that was a good amount of work. But beach sampling is, all we really used was pencils with some string stuck to them to section off the 3 meter by 3 meter square that we looked inside of. And we just used some tweezers and a bucket and some bowls. And that was really simple. And that's something that almost anyone could do.
So spread the word. So the last way that you can help is to spread the word about what is going on. And I know this you may have learned some new things in this. And so I encourage you guys to tell other people about what is going on in the ocean. And one thing that you can do is we set up a little poster making contest to spread the awareness about ocean plastics. This is one that my little brother made. And feel free to post it on Facebook or Instagram and tag the Atlantic White Shark Conservancy or our Instagram page, Sailing Swains.
And so there actually will be a contest for these too. I think there will be another post with more information about that on the Atlantic White Shark Conservancy's Facebook page. So right now, we're in the middle of a very difficult situation. The coronavirus has drastically changed our lives in so many ways. And so although what we talked about today is important, most people aren't focusing on that right now because of the virus, and that's totally okay. Just keep doing little things like going to grocery stores that have paper bags instead of plastic ones, or making sure that everything that you can recycle is being recycled at your house if your town is still doing recycling. And it's a hard time right now, so just remember to do little things, and the big things, we can do that later.
Thank you guys so much for watching. You have no idea how much we appreciate this.
Sorry. It's just it's a problem that we need to think about and talk about and spread the word about, and just make sure to do little things, and if you can, do bigger things too. And every little bit helps. Just keep doing everything that you can. Thank you for watching.